Hi, folks. This is Dr. Rex Gatto, business psychologist and coach. This is a great time for people to step up and be peer coaches. Nurses to nurse, nurse to physician, physician to physician, physician to nurse, to really work with each other and to be advocates for each other. I'd like to share with you 10 tips on how to be a peer coach. Let's start with the reason why peer coaching is greatly needed. We know that there is a great deal of stress, people working in medicine, and we use the phrase burned out, meaning stressed out. There is a need also to develop people who can be future leaders and people who can lead and develop. We need the experienced nurse and physician to work with maybe the less experienced nurses and physicians, or those nurses and physicians that people see who are stressed. It is also a way to create a business advantage in working with people and developing people to create that talent pool that's needed, and to develop staff and help staff to collaborate and work together and to motivate people in the right way. What is peer coaching? Peer coaching is a partnership between the coachee and the coach. It is a peer coach working with someone who wants an advocate, someone who says, I, the coachee, want the support, want someone I can confide in, debrief, talk with, explain what I am going through, someone who will listen and understand to help me to have a better quality of personal as well as professional life. The other point that I'd like to make is if you see someone who is stressed, burned out, help them, say something. Don't just think, oh, that person is really stressed. Talk with them. Say, Mary, Joe, I notice that you seem to be under a great deal of stress. Would you like to talk about it? Take action. Don't just sit back. Peer coaching is an opportunity for people, and what the peer coach can do for the coachee is to help them think about things that they haven't thought, expand their thinking, help the coachee to say things, express the unexpressed, help them to dream things they haven't dreamt about, and to create for themselves new methodology, new way of behaving, new way of thinking. The nurse physician who becomes the peer coach can really help people to have a better quality of life. And as a peer coach does that, you help yourself to grow as well. Don't sit back. If you see something, say something, and offer your services as a peer coach. Here are techniques, tips that can help you. One, for coaching, you need a goal. You might say, let's talk about being less stressed. That's a goal. Let's talk about a better way to handle yourself in stressful situations. That's a goal. But you need a goal. You need a direction. Support and help people work toward those goals. Give homework assignments between meetings. Now, an assignment could be an article, a book that maybe you've read, an observation you've made. Help people to implement a behavior. An example of that would be, in a meeting, make sure that they voice their opinions. Reading articles and discussing those articles or books. There are many articles put out now about stress within the medical field. There are many articles for nurses, for physicians. Talk about them. Talk about better ways of working and handling stress. Ask the right questions. You all probably have heard about Socratic questioning. Socrates believed that the answers would be inside, and that through asking questions, you can pull out a person's thoughts. We also call that guided discovery. Think of some good questions that you can ask someone. What is it you'd like to learn? How did you feel about that meeting? What's the best way for us to work together? Have you thought about expressing your ideas for change with the chair? Those would be questions that you can help and guide someone to think through. Also, keep a journal. Ask someone, what are the things at the end of the day that you really feel very good about that you accomplished? Keep a journal on a day-to-day or every few days, a journal so that you can chronically see your own individual development. Help people to understand what they are doing well. Don't let them focus on, I didn't get to this, I didn't do that, I made a mistake. Help them to also see all the good things that they are doing by the end of the day. Outline so that they can see what I have accomplished on a day-to-day basis. And certainly you can work on areas for improvement, but help people to understand the goodness and the successes that they do day to day. You can look at case studies and or role play. Sometimes it's very helpful if you are a peer coach to say, let's work on that. What actually happened? I'll be the patient and you be yourself and have a discussion about it. Role play it and have them go through it. Have them feel those emotions in vivo. Have them to feel those emotions and talk about the interaction. What might you do differently next time? What did you learn? Was this a key learning for you? Look at reoccurring issues that may come up. And they could be personality driven or communication style or mannerism driven. But look for recurring issues that cause success first and foremost. You know, one of the things that we do is analyze our failures, but we don't analyze our successes. Help people to go back and analyze the successes. What are we doing right to make them more effective? Identify negative and dysfunctional thoughts. Thoughts precede behaviors. And if we have negative thoughts, that's going to tell you about our disposition. It's going to tell you about our attitude and even statements, anger statements that people may make. Help people to understand functional thoughts from dysfunctional thoughts and the belief system of successes as opposed to feeling beaten down, especially because of stress. Help to find a level of confidence. Listen. When people talk about their inadequacies, help them to what Carol Dweck says is a growth mindset. Help them to think beyond. What did they learn? How can they expand their thinking? You can help them to do that. Be an advocate for positivity. Be an advocate for growth. A peer coach, the most important thing that you have is your heart, your mind, and your intuition. If you want to help somebody, you can be a peer coach. Help them to find confidence within themselves. Another way to say confidence is a belief system within themselves that they are adequate, that they can do. Keeping the goals in mind. What actions do you want to take? What actions don't you want to take? What are the advantages for taking action? What are the advantages for not taking action? Help people to understand and distinguish the advantages for taking action, the advantages for not taking action, or a disadvantages for taking action and a disadvantage for not taking action. Those 4 points, advantages for taking and not taking action, disadvantages for taking action, not taking action, those 4 points could be helpful in identifying a process of decision making, those choices that we make. Ask follow-up questions. How did you intend for this to turn out? How did people interpret what you say? What was the final outcome? Help people to understand what their beliefs are, what their values are. Have them get in touch with why they went into the profession they did, why they believe in what they are doing, the value that they bring to other people, the values that they hold for themselves. The famous psychologist Maslow once defined values as, what are you willing to fight for? That will tell you your being values, the values that you believe in yourself. I hope these 10 points will help you to understand what a peer coach can bring to the medical profession. A peer coach will support and challenge the coachee to become the best version of themselves. Ask this: what do you want for yourself? What do you believe patients want from you? What is it you want for a quality of life? Stop and reflect. Be successful in helping people to find a comfort and a compassion for themselves. Peer coaching is a quality that can help people to fulfill their own sense of professionalism. If I can be of support or help, my email is on the very first slide, rex@rexgatto.com. If you have any questions, I would be glad to address any questions that you have, or if you want more information on how to really establish a peer coaching process, please contact me.